What would you do if the sea blocked your way forward and an army determined to destroy you thundered behind? No escape, no path, no hope. But on one unforgettable night, the impossible happened. A sea opened, a nation walked through, and history was changed forever. This is the breathtaking story of how God rescued the children of Israel through the Red Sea. For generations, the people of Israel had lived as slaves in Egypt. They cried out for help, and God heard them. Through mighty miracles, God sent a deliverer, a man named Moses. Under his leadership, the Israelites finally left Egypt, walking toward a new future. But their journey to freedom was far from over. Back in Egypt, anger burned in the heart of Pharaoh. "How could we let our slaves go?" he shouted. In rage, Pharaoh gathered his army, hundreds of chariots, thousands of soldiers, and powerful horses. The ground trembled as the Egyptian army began its pursuit. Meanwhile, the Israelites had reached the shore of the Red Sea. The water stretched endlessly before them. Mountains stood beside them, and suddenly, from behind, dust rose into the sky. The Egyptian army was coming. Panic spread through the camp. People cried out in fear. "Why did you bring us here to die?" they shouted at Moses. Was it because there were no graves in Egypt? Fear had replaced their faith. But Moses stood firm. He raised his voice and said, "Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again." Then God spoke to Moses, "Stretch out your staff over the sea." As night fell, Moses lifted his staff toward the waters. A powerful wind began to blow. Stronger and stronger, the sea began to move. The waters pulled apart. Slowly, impossibly, a pathway appeared. Towering walls of water rose on both sides, and the seabed became dry ground. God had made a way where no way existed. In awe and wonder, the Israelites stepped forward. Families walked together. Children held their parents' hands. Animals moved along the dry path. On both sides, enormous walls of water shimmered in the night. Fish swam beside them as if watching the miracle unfold. And above them, the presence of God protected them like a shield. An entire nation walked through the sea. Behind them, the Egyptian army saw the path through the sea. Pharaoh gave the order, "Follow them." Chariots rushed forward into the parted waters, but suddenly, something went wrong. The chariot wheels began to stick. The ground became unstable. Fear gripped the soldiers. They cried out, "Let us flee! The Lord is fighting for Israel!" But it was too late. When the last Israelite reached the other side, God spoke again to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea." Moses raised his staff once more. Instantly, the walls of water began to collapse. The sea roared back with unstoppable power. The waters crashed down upon the Egyptian army. Chariots disappeared. Soldiers vanished. The sea swallowed the army of Pharaoh, and the threat was gone forever. As the sun rose over the Red Sea, the Israelites stood on the shore, free, completely free. The same sea that had been their obstacle had become their path to deliverance. They lifted their voices in worship. Songs of victory filled the air. For the first time in generations, they were no longer slaves. The crossing of the Red Sea reminds us of something powerful. Sometimes, life brings us to impossible places, moments where it seems like there is no way forward, but the same God who parted the sea still makes a way today. When faith rises, the impossible becomes possible. Have you ever faced a moment in life where it felt like there was no way forward, but somehow a way appeared? Share your story in the comments. And if you love powerful Bible stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more inspiring stories from the Bible.